Boom, boom. Happy Friday. How's everyone doing today? Pretty busy. Pretty busy day. It is May the 9th, 2025. Happy Goku Day, everyone. If you're a fan of Dragon Ball, or maybe if you just like Goku as a character. Or kind of. You guys know. You guys know. Yeah, okay. So it was supposed to be an unboxing, and I just realized I didn't fix the title of the stream either. Let me just make sure everything's working quick. You guys know how it is, because we've had plenty of times. You guys know how it is, because we've... Okay, we're working. Sweet, 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 sweet. Okay. I'm making everything. Hey, Tenzel, how's it going? There was supposed to be an unboxing, which Amazon's just been MIA today, and I literally just got the notification that it's now arriving tomorrow. It got delayed in transit. Transit that is only 4.5 hours away from here. My stuff came out of a state literally right next to me. But it is what it is, I guess. It happens. What's cool about that, at least if, hey bro, what if all your figures came to life and they have to eat? I'd be screwed. I eat a lot. The dog eats a lot. Girlfriend doesn't eat too much, but the dog and I eat a lot, so we'd be screwed. We'd be screwed if all my figures had to eat. I have less than I used to, but seeing as I have a ton of Gokus and Vegetas, they'd be eating for eons, even at their current size. So I'd be screwed. That's a fun question. I've never really thought about it. Now I'm going to be a little paranoid. But it works out because Gamera is supposed to be here tomorrow. Now, of course, that's barring no tariff shenanigans. So, what if it was if it was only Shimo? Oh, well, then everything would be fine. If it's only Shimo, then I'm not too worried. Don't even really know if she eats, so I'm sure she does, but we can just feed her birds and stuff from outside. It's all good. Hey Alex, how's it going, buddy? So yeah, so the box day is tomorrow, and it might be a double box day because Gamera's supposed to get here once again. Hopefully there's no tariff issues there, hopefully. I feel like it probably would have let me know already, but we'll be. What about 100 gorillas versus one man? Oh, it would be over then. 100 gorillas. The whole reason why that discussion's fun because technically, like, one gorilla probably could take out 100 men if they're not armed. If they're armed, then no way. Gorillas are super strong and stuff, but they're not gonna beat armed men, even if it's only with like melee weapons, not even guns. Girlfriend's coughing up a storm. But yeah, so double box day tomorrow. Kind of works out, I guess. That way I don't have to do 2 streams, and we can focus on the main event for this stream, or the main events. So we kind of got 3 topics. One, we got Goku Day. We've got 2 Godzilla teasers. One is the 70th anniversary Southeast Asia tribute, I believe is what it's called. Tribute teaser. There's a lot of speculation going around. I've been taking the last few hours to read up on it, trying to get all I can, and there's really not a lot of info, but I'm going to give you guys some of the things that I think, and some of the things that I've seen quite a few people also saying, but I wasn't able to verify sources, so we're not going to take any of it for, it's going to be cookie cutter. It's not guaranteed. It's all speculation. And then, of course, we're going to be talking about Godzilla, X Kong, Supernova. We got a teaser. We're going to actually watch both of them on stream because they're 30 seconds, so I think copyright-wise they should be okay. If not, the stream goes down, and it is what it is. Supercharged Evolve Godzilla. Oh, yeah, Godzilla wins. So, yeah, we're going to talk about that, and then we're going to talk about a few things that I've been hearing about Supernova, because I've been hearing conflicting things, conflicting details. I hear one thing, and then someone else says another thing, but no one really is backing up their claims or really verifying their sources. Well, shit, hopefully the stream doesn't get taken down. I mean, it'll get taken down after, so, like, once the stream's done, it'll give me like a copyright notice, and then I'll just go in. It'll give me an option to cut out the copyright portions, and I'll just cut out. We're just gonna watch them once. I'm gonna watch them all the way through. I'm not gonna stop and pause and react. We're just gonna watch them all the way through. I've got photos for the Southeast Asia tribute. I don't have a lot for Supernova. In fact, there's some that I still have to grab from my cloud. So when we're looking at other things, I'll take care of that. So or on one of these screens where I can keep it hidden because it's connected to my iCloud. So I can grab the few photos for Supernova, because there really isn't a lot with Supernova. So let's move. Oh yes, I got it right. I will say that we will get a toy leak regardless at some point by Playmate, so we know what and who the new kaiju is. Yeah, we'll figure it out soon. So also, I'm putting out a new option. You see this right here in the top part of the screen? If this symbol is ever up while I'm live streaming, that means I'm going full-blown talking how I normally talk. If you guys don't know, I censor myself quite a bit. I still let things out, but when this is up, use your discretion. If you don't like swearing, absolutely understand it. I swear like a sailor, not really a big deal for me, but I know some people don't. Or if there's younger audiences, if this is ever up, use your own discretion. So I'm not going to have it up probably this stream, because probably not going to be dropping any. Why is something telling me gigantic is going to come? Probably. But I don't really need to say anything too crazy this stream, so I won't have that up this stream. But just so you guys know. Oh, oops. Wrong screen. That's the YouTube stream. Okay, so like I said, we got both tabs. Thankfully, the official YouTube channel finally posted this one. Oh, this is a 50-second. Ooh, okay. I'm a little scared now. I am a little scared now. But we're going to let this play. So let me get this on. I'm going to get the chat up. So can you guys hear it? Actually, be a considerable threat. It looks like, hopefully the volume's good. How's the volume? Hopefully it's good. Dude. Oh, man. Yes, okay. Is this legit? Yes, this is legit. This is posted by the official Godzilla channel. Man. They put a lot of money in this. You can't tell me. This is beautiful. Some of the shots are a little CGI, but like, and then green. Oh, hey. Did you guys see that? I know I said I wasn't going to do this. I was going to push another speculation thing. Boom, 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 boom. They're all moving and like shaking. Whew, dude. Get a good shot of that. That's so good. Is this the sequel for -1? No, this is well, okay, here we go. This is the 70-year anniversary, a new roar in Southeast Asia. Now, we're gonna click on this because I'm interested to see what they say about it. Okay, so it's the same as the post. So this is what it says before we get into speculation and before we get into any talks. I just want to read this because I feel like some people aren't taking the description into consideration. For 70 years, Godzilla's commanded the big screens and captivated the world, and now a new roar echoes louder than ever. For the first time across Southeast Asia, the legend emerges in a powerful tribute to the fans who have kept its legacy alive. Godzilla is very popular in Southeast Asia, so it makes sense. An unprecedented Godzilla marks the start of something new. This special footage honors Southeast Asia, celebrating 7 decades of Godzilla's unstoppable journey through the region's iconic landmarks. Thank you to 70 years of love, memories, and passion. Witness the rise, hear the roar, the legend reigns. So, there is a tribute video coming out that's probably going to have more footage like this, of this. But, so, here's my first take. This thing is, like, heavily -1. Like, this is -1, okay? Like, it's -1, but it's not -1, you know what I mean? This thing is huge. I should have brought up all the photos first. All right, 100 zillion. Lions versus Zeno. Well, Zeno's gonna win. Zeno always wins. Let's see. I've got some photos. Some of these are my own screenshots, so they kind of look bad, but that's kind of like the shot we're looking at. Where's the specific one? There's that other one. Oh, that looks good. The green. The dorsal plates move and vibrate like -1s. Do this shot. I love the crocodile tail, or the alligator tail. Dude, this is... Oh, man. Now look at that. I don't like how these are not this pixelated on my screen. I do apologize. Or like when I put them, before I put them on the computer, on my phone, these look much better. So I don't know why they're so mid here, but they're also not my photos. I love how the tail looks very crocodile. Yeah, it's super cool. I saw some people saying they didn't like it. I was like, whoa. I mean, you know, it's obviously, all opinions are a-okay, so it's fine. But dude, I love the way this looks. And then it's got like these kind of like armor plate shoulders, but then that's the -1 chest. Those are the -1 arms. The head is not 100% -1. It's definitely updated. Someone said it kind of had like the here it is. Yeah, look at this. Someone said 89, but now that I'm seeing it like this close, this kind of has like an 84 Cybot look almost to it. Am I crazy? You guys see the 84 a little bit in here? I do see 89 a little bit, but I see more like 84. I see the suit and I see the Cybot. I already need to take a drink. I do apologize. But yeah, I'm loving this design. It's very green. Also kind of like -1. Yeah, they're like the 2002 dorsal plates. With like effects of singular point and earth, because they charge at the middle, and then like they have like little, not like veins, but they're kind of like veins, culverts, and those light up, and then the dorsal plate lights up like it's powering up. Hey Sharktopus, how's it going, buddy? We're talking about some Godzilla stuff. So once again, so this is a trailer. We don't really know too much. See the -1's leg. Where's... Oh, that was one of my bad screenshots. Another one of my bad screenshots. You can see my phone bar. Yeah, there's... See, that one looks better than the one that I saved, but that one's from my phone. Dude, like, those dorsal plates, they've got the green. Okay, how did I not even talk about the green? Is crazy. I know my boy Thirsty Thursday Toys is loving it. Those are New Empire, or not New Empire. Those are Supernova. So yeah, look at this silhouette. I've been alive for 19 years today. Oh, it's... Hey Sharktopus, happy birthday, buddy. Happy birthday. Nice, dude. 19. Holy moly. Making me feel old. That's okay. Age is a part of life. See, here, if you cut out the dorsal plates, even with how different the tail kind of is, this just looks like -1. Like, the head is still the same. Oh my goodness, she's coughing up a storm. She's probably getting high. She's probably getting high. But these dorsal plates, yeah, they've got... Is the SH Monster its bootleg -1 worth it? No. Excuse me. I don't think so. I don't think any bootlegs are worth it, because you're not supporting, excuse me, the official release. But especially bootlegs and monster arts are never really that good. Plus with tariffs right now, you're going to end up paying the same amount for the bootleg that you are going to be the official anyways, because the bootlegs are what, 30, 40, 50 bucks, 150% tariff. That's already 140, 130 bucks. And then shipping, and then you're going to have to wait like a long time. Looks so much better than the blue for some reason. Blue is classic, but green should be the new standard. I definitely think they should do only... Yeah, and that... The Showa Ghidorah was... it has been legitimized that was originally a Monster Arts mold that got stolen, and then because it got stolen and people kept buying it, even though, you know, it was kind of obvious that Bandai wasn't happy about it, that's why we haven't That's one of the many reasons we didn't get Showa Ghidorah. We were supposed to get Showa Ghidorah back then, and they didn't because people kept buying the bootleg. So that's the other thing. It's why I don't. The Dragon Ball SHF community is like it's basically half bootlegs now, and yes, that does kind of. I feel like it pushes Figure Arts to do a little bit better. I won't lie, but at the same time, they could also just be like, well, now we're just not going to give you, like a new Z Broly. Here's the re-release, and they're just going to keep re-releasing it. Even though I do love that original Broly, and I will still be getting that version of Broly, even if they announce a new one, I will definitely, that might be the reason this new one. Well, it was going to be a P Bandai anyways, because they seem to not be very confident on the Showa line on sales, which is kind of odd because they do well, but I mean, Gigan and Garrus were P Bandai's, Hedorah was P Bandai, so it probably more than likely. Yeah, look at this. I wonder. Ooh, I don't know if I have the shot of it. God, I love that photo. Sorry, I had to look at it. I love this Godzilla. I'm gonna have to make this my background. Do I have? It's not that one, but dude, that silhouette. Oh my god. Where is it at? Oh no, I don't think I saved it. Dude, that one looks better when it's not glitched. Okay, let me change my layout quick. I gotta go into my iCloud, and I'm gonna grab the photo. One of the photos I really like. So this Godzilla has something that not a ton of Godzillas get, and I am in love with it. So this isn't the direct shot of it. There's another scene where you can actually see it where it looks like Godzilla's walking on top of you. This one does show it though. He's got, look at those, oh dude, look at the little like ankle. Look at that. He's got the I don't know what they're called. What are they called? Does anyone know what they're called? There's a term for this. It's not like dew claw, but it's basically a dew claw. But it looks so cool. It looks so fucking cool. Oops, I let one slip, but that's stream normal. It's so cool, and just the way he looks. This is one of the shots that definitely looks a little bit more CGI. Definitely he looks a little bit more CGI than some of the other ones. But, like, he can't tell me he doesn't look so cool. He's thinner, too. That's the other thing. In this shot, he's really thin. He's kind of, the Godzilla has, the tail is the classic, like, suit look, but then the rest of it's -1. So, Showa Ghidorah's peak priority. I have some words for Toho they think won't sell. Well, it will, well, now it might not because of tariffs. So, they're going to be losing half of their customer. Well, not half. I would probably say, a third of their customer base, because we're pretty big, but like, we didn't get a whole trailer yet for the popularity. So just saying, just saying. But yeah, this design is really something. I really want to make sure that this sees a return. I do not want this to go away. I would really prefer if Toho were to keep this. So, oh, not this one. Let's do this one. I really like, this is a good backdrop. While we talk about kind of the speculation and some of my thoughts. Dude, I love this. I love this design. I really hope this gets at least a little bit more than the, oh, I'm cutting out his face right now. There we go. How about that? There we go. Okay, he's roaring up at me. Dude, I love, and I mean I love this design. I hope it's not just limited to this short only. If this happens to be something that's still mostly Southeast Asia exclusive, that's a-okay. My biggest concern is that they just went and they redesigned -1. They put a ton of Godzillas in this Godzilla. And then they gave us a green dorsal plate radiation. And then we're not going to get any more. So I hope it's not like that. Now, so some of the rumor. So I'll start off with mine before I start with what I've seen across comments. Initially, I was like, see, that's what I thought. Shark Post. I was like, this is like them kind of like being sneaky in throwing this design, being seeing how people feel about it before they put it on screen. Maybe because they're not confident. Maybe it's too big of a change, or maybe they're just teasing us. I don't know. That was my first reaction, and I have talked to a few people that kind of think the same. But in instances, after thinking it over a few hours, there are plenty of modern instances where Toho has done this, and it hasn't amounted to a movie design. So the other thing I've seen, and I've seen a lot of people talking about this, but no one had a source for it, is that the recently announced Godzilla the Ride, not necessarily sequel, but there is a Godzilla the Ride 2, basically, that Yamazaki is working on, and he's going to produce, and it's supposed to be scary and fun and thrilling, kind of like Godzilla the Ride, which is still available in Japan. The chances are that this will be the design, and then the ride will either be something that can they're going to have in multiple locations, or it's going to be somewhere in Southeast Asia as an exclusive, kind of like how Saudi Arabia is doing a Dragon Ball park. This would be exclusive to a location or locations in Southeast Asia. Of course, I want to say, not as a disrespect, but as a guy who loves Godzilla and who loves this design, I hope not, because it kind of already hurt that the ride was locked to Japan, but it makes sense. And then there's also the Awaji Island Shin Godzilla stuff that is also specifically locked to Awaji Island. Can't take photos, you can't take videos of it. In fact, that's one of the attractions that hasn't actually leaked online, as far as I'm aware, not majorly at least, is the Shin Godzilla attraction. They're pretty serious about people not recording during that, so, which is good. I don't want it spoiled for me. The ride is kind of, there's a video out there of the ride that's pretty notorious. I've watched that once or twice. And then I know the Universal ride as well from the Evangelion collab is also out there. So the chances of this hitting the internet in low quality would be likely if it was an exclusive like that. But of course, we don't really know. They're kind of leaving it open-ended. It sounds like this is going to be some sort of collection of shorts or a short. Or, like I said, it could be the Godzilla ride part 2. This kind of does look like the Godzilla head that's biting the boat, because the boat is a modern boat in that poster. But we don't know for sure, and I'm not a dental expert, obviously, but the teeth the teeth on -1 and this Godzilla are different. And if I'm being honest, the photo that Yamazaki shared and Toho shared, the teeth kind of match up with this guy a little bit. So we'll see. It's all speculation, nothing confirmed. I thought the ride was a -1 ride, yeah, which, I mean, once again, this kind of, my main thing is, I think this could have been, or will be, could be or would be, the new -1, because I'll try to keep it ambiguous as I can, because if this does end up happening, that might mean that other things on this, the very original initial leaks of Godzilla -1, before we even had the trailer, before we even had the name, when it was Godzilla 0, I believe it was 0, or it was 0. When we got the initial spoilers, the way that the design was described was more this. This is closer to what that, or part of that leak had suggested. It's changed a little bit. There's some portions of it that's not quite the same here, not suggesting anything here with the mouse, but there's a few different design choices. So this is either a reused, modified -1, or it could possibly what -2 will look like, which, honestly, if they did this design, I think he looks threatening enough, but also not quite as villainous. it's kind of the middle of the road, because I would assume after this next film, if they make it more of a franchise under the same continuity, they're probably gonna start moving to Godzilla looking a little bit more friendlier. Um, Minus One's design is pretty, hateful looking. I think this is a good medium. The blue eye is really. It's odd that the blue neutral eyes kind of really help bring the design's fierceness down. You notice that a lot of the Godzillas that are more aggressive normally have darker or red eyes or orangey, fiery eyes, while the more calmer ones, or even when he's calm, they're more like blue and brown. So very interesting. It's kind of like a Sharingan effect, but not really. It is, but isn't. It's similar, but not exactly that. Okay, so I'm not saying that's what it is. Just in case I definitely. Okay, one thing completely off track. I know I got a hater following my channel. I know I've got at least one or two, which is absolutely okay. People are gonna hate. That's fine. But I have someone, and I know there's someone, because I've been noticing all my videos have been getting dislikes recently, consistently. And maybe that just means I'm putting out shit content too. But maybe not. You never know. I would make the dorsals just a tiny bit larger. See, I would say that, but when they're larger, he seems to really be more villainous. It makes him seem more villainous. So, but of course they could also not be, they could not go the route to make him look more like a hero, because he could still be anti-hero all the way through. Like Millennium basically wasn't a hero for the people, at least, but he wasn't a villain either, so they could also do that. I could see maybe this one getting a little bit larger. I'm liking the sizes of these, though. And that tail, dude, I love the tail. That's maybe out of all the small little things that I would have preferred with Minus One, the tail being a little bit more angular is kind of something that I wanted. Right here, man. There it is. Excuse me. Oh my goodness, hiccups. So, this design's cool. We don't know if it's going to be used for more than the short. We don't know if it's going to be the Godzilla in -2 or whatever the new Toho movie, the Yamazaki sequel, is called. We don't know anything. We just know that it is used for this, and it's going to be a tribute to the Southeast Asia fans. So, we'll see. The tail looks awesome, and it flows well. Yeah. It looks good. Which, I mean, even the -1 with the snub nose end still fit in just fine. So I think, honestly, it could have been more. But yeah, I was going to lean more into this being a -1 design, but the more I've kind of looked at it today and read things, I've kind of fallen out of that opinion. I know I was like that right away, especially Alex. You messaged me. I was like, oh, yeah, no, nah. I don't believe this will be used in the film. Could this be a reference sheet to the design that will be in the movie? It could be. Ride in -1, and I heavily would anticipate that this is still Yamazaki's work. It's just the way it looks in some scenes, it looks way too good. Unless they've got someone else at Toho that can make some really good CGI, which is great, by the way. It doesn't all just have to be Yamazaki. If they've got more artists that can make these, even if it's only these 30 seconds, really pop. I mean, I love tokusatsu, and I hope we don't get less of it, but at the same time, it is easier for them to portray Godzilla in his full ferocity as a CGI model like this, or even mo-capped. And if they can keep making the design look really good on screen, even if it's a different continuity, go for it. Whatever means you need to tell your story, as long as you're not stealing art from people and basically using AI. Then I don't really care. So, it's nice. This thing is nice. This is wonderful. Thank the internet for some of these close-up photos. Like I said, most of those were from the internet. So, now, Supernova. Dude, the teaser trailer came first, technically, by 10-20 minutes. I woke up as the teaser was just making its rounds. I decided to wake up early today so I could work on the Goku stuff, the Goku Day stuff of today, which ended up being completely rehauled because I went and got the Goku at Target. This Goku. This beautiful Son Goku. If you guys want a base Goku figure arts, here you go. So, with this, with Supernova, there's a lot of speculation going on. We've seen a lot of things, and Shark's Post has said probably the one thing that I've seen the most, which, to be fair, we've seen since 2014's end credits. Everyone saying Space Godzilla. Everyone said it during 2019, before we figured out that it was Mothra, Rodan, and King Ghidorah in Kong Skull Island. Oh my god. Bah. I need to take another drink. I'm not even like, I'm completely sober right now. Talking like ass. One more. Twist up. Tastes just as good as Sprite. So don't be spending $3 a 2-liter when you can spend $1.20, or however it is in your area. So yeah, the main idea is Space Godzilla being the enemy. Now, there was multiple people had stated that in the, well, actually, you know what? Before we get into the speculation, we gotta watch the trailer, don't we? Or not the trailer, I should say, but the now in production notice. Okay, all right, we'll watch it. This is fun. This is fun. This is the way that you tease a movies in. Now that code is important. Very, very important. By the way, this is a real number. You can call that number. And then it has like options to go through. Now in production. Yep. So basically this means the movie's written and they're actually making the movie. Isn't that fun? I'm very excited about that. So yeah. So here's this. We'll leave it here. Supernova. So I've seen a few things. I've seen a few people say this binary code says Space Godzilla. I've seen quite a few people say that. And then I've seen other people say that this actually just says Kong, or it's Godzilla, Kong, watch this space, or watch the space. And no one's like really given a credible answer to which side's right. I would guess, because there's multiple different codes here, that this probably is Godzilla, Kong, watch the space, and the Space Godzilla might be more of a troll answer. But hey, it doesn't rule out Space Godzilla though. So, but yeah, because initially, like, I saw this and I was like, oh, I wonder what that says, and then one of the first things I saw from multiple people was saying this said Space Godzilla. But Space Godzilla has been a damn joke in a legendary film for, like I said, since 2015. Since 2015, people have been saying Space Godzilla since right after 2014. So, but yeah, it's probably something around the lines of Kong or Godzilla, Kong, watch this space, or watch space, something like that. Which, with Supernova, does heavily indicate that we're finally going into space, which would line up with a certain G-Force actor from 2019 saying that his anime is getting ready to go. And the concept art that he shared a few weeks ago of Gigan. So Gigan, in some way or capacity, and they want you to know that Gigan's going to be in the anime, because Jackson's his last name. I can't remember his first name. I do apologize. But I believe it's Jackson. Actually, you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna look it up quick. I got him on. I've got him on Instagram and oh, okay. No, It was on my X account. Oh, Jackson Jr. O'Shea? O'Shea? Is that how I pronounce his name? O'Shea. O'Shea? Hopefully I got this right. Is this him? I'm not seeing his post about Gigan anymore. Oh, there it is. Okay, yeah, I got the same guy. So yeah, O'Shea Jackson Jr. He's one of the main G-Force guys in 2019. Shared this photo of Gigan. You guys have seen this photo. Hopefully you've seen this photo. Confirming that he will be in the Godzilla anime that will tie in with the MonsterVerse. So the fact that the anime, which I do believe supposed to be, at least, it's supposed to come out before this movie, will probably legitimately set up. So they'll set it up. They'll set up whatever this is, or maybe the anime is going to tease that Gigan's coming, and then Gigan will be in the MonsterVerse as the big bad in this film. I see the original. I think it'll be an original kaiju. Look at how huge the news was when we found out Rodan Mothra. Then again, the movie was leaked and spoiled. Yeah. Well, it doesn't help that the movie was also delayed 2 years, 3 years. I can't remember if it was supposed to originally come out in 2016 or 2017, because that's been the legitimate curse of the MonsterVerse, and parts of the reason why they all have bad writing is the fact that they've been delayed over and over and over again. You know, New Empire was delayed 2 years. I mean, we were supposed to have, I'm pretty sure it was 2016, 2017, and then 2019 we were supposed to get Godzilla vs. Kong, and then the fourth movie, which wasn't New Empire at the time, was supposed to come out like 21, 22, I believe, was the very, very original initial plan that they told us what they wanted to do. And then there was more films, because they kind of did it a little Marvel style, which then a lot of YouTubers went and copied, obviously, to make their own, string, which is fine. Marvel was the moving thing at the time, even though the main entity of Marvel was ending with the Infinity Saga in I guess not at that point. That was 2020, 2019. Yeah, you guys know. I'm losing my mind a little bit. There's been so much going on today. I did not get sleep either, so I'm exhausted. See, I thought it might be an original kaiju as well, but there's no way after the back, I don't want to say backlash, but like Scar and Shimo did not do well. In fact, I would, I think they're gonna run with the Toho kaiju. This time, they're gonna risk it for the biscuit. I realize I haven't liked this yet. Oopsie. I think they're gonna run with the Toho kaiju because they're gonna need movement. So you see, Gigan is my favorite kaiju besides Godzilla, but I still want Space Godzilla. I mean, we'll see if it's Space Godzilla. I mean, once again, we've been saying Space Godzilla. Actually, this is a better way to put it. We've been saying Space Godzilla for 10 years now. They might never give us Space Godzilla, because honestly, like, outside of the Godzilla fandom, is Space Godzilla really that marketable? Probably more than an original kaiju, but honestly, most people, especially because I think there is a good handful of people that now that like the Showa film, or most of the Showa films, and some of the Heisei films, and hopefully soon all of Heisei, all of Millennium will be on Max, hopefully. People go back and watch these films, and I love Space Godzilla. Okay, I love the film. I grew up on it. It was one of those like films I couldn't get my hands on until I could get my hands on it, and then I wore out a VHS, and then I wore out 2 sets of DVDs for Space Godzilla and Destroya. So I love Space Godzilla, but at the same time, gotta make money too. So we'll see. But my point is, if the rest of the Heisei films go to streaming, and some people do go back trying to get hyped for this, and they go back and they watch Space Godzilla, most people not gonna like Space Godzilla. Space Godzilla, objectively, not that good of a film. Opinion wise, I love it, but is a little rough around the edges in a lot of ways, I feel like, for the majority of people. I mean, even in the fandom, Most people don't like it. It's one of the bottom. Um, and, that does go into some of these decisions a little bit. A little bit. So, but you never know, too. I would like to see Space Godzilla as well. Space Godzilla would be fun, as long as the design's not boring. That's the thing I worry. I don't want it just to be like Evolved Godzilla with 2 crystals on its back and then some texture changes. I want it to be different. I want it to be crazy. I want every toy company to struggle to make the character because it is so because it's so crazy and overly designed. I want something wild. I want something to impress me, which this anime Gigan from the Monsterverse does. It's very, very, very kind of over the top and in the right way. So, we'll see. I don't even like the film that much, but Space Godzilla himself, I mean, yeah, Space Godzilla's cool. I've been feeling a little bit more positive on Space Godzilla because Battle Line. I finally got my Fukuoka Space Godzilla pretty high leveled, so I've been using him all season. And I realize why he's such an annoyance. He's so good. A creature that tries to mimic Godzilla but fails, obviously. It could be. It could be. We don't know for sure. That's kind of the cool thing about this teaser, is we know literally nothing. Besides the fact that on this alert in the audio it says multiple kaiju have been seen all around the world. Which some people are suggesting that this is going to end up being kind of like 2019. Excuse me, where the very original teaser ended up being in the movie, kind of. Of course, very different. In the original teaser, it's Madison in a Monarch basement trying to find Monarch, when in the final movie, she's in her house, not even by the orca, too close to the orca, screaming and hiding. It's the coolest ability and one of the best designs. Yeah. Oh yeah. He's got super cool abilities. And now that he can be all CGI, all those abilities can be even cooler and even more crazy. And that's that's one of the best things about the CGI. That I will admit, it is cool to be able to see not a hug battle, but we're going to be able to see Space Godzilla flipping around like he's in Save the Earth, except hopefully he's a little bit thinner, because he's even clunky in those games. But like, if they can make this just like this monstrosity beast, like, man. See, that's one of my favorite things about the Mechagodzilla from the Monsterverse. Mechagodzilla wasted, but what I will say, they gave the kaiju this agile, just complete dominant character fight style, and he just did so many cool things, like elbow or knees Godzilla in the face. He's gonna open up his mouth and blow his photon blast down his throat, like shit like that, or holding Kong against a building and trying to stab him with his tail. That's so cool. That's so cool. If Space Godzilla actually does turn out to be the main antagonist, I wonder how they make Kong useful. Well, to be fair, Kong does put up a good, decent fight against Godzilla and Mechagodzilla. And, not really Shimo. He kind of would get mollywopped solo with Shimo, even with the glove. But I'm going to guess he's probably going to get a full power suit. Like, if it goes into space, or maybe Space Godzilla can create like an anti-gravity, kind of like Space Godzilla, or like King Ghidorah, but it's like space anti-gravity. They're probably going to give him a power suit that's going to look like the alien power suit, and that's going to be the reference, would be my guess, because even the glove itself looks like it would kind of be out alien. Mechagodzilla 20 was my least favorite kaiju ever. He's the equivalent of 98. That's fair. I mean, he's definitely not my favorite. In fact, I would probably, well, okay, that's not true. City on the Edge of Battle Mechagodzilla is the worst, in my opinion. But then it's probably Legendary's Mechagodzilla right after that. But I still like the way he fights and the way he combats. I also like that he just absolutely dominated Godzilla. Even if Godzilla was tired and injured from fighting Kong, he gets absolutely dominated. And that was refreshing. And then Kong actually getting a win that kind of makes sense against Mechagodzilla, even better, in my opinion. But still, yeah, I would definitely say he's probably the second worst Mechagodzilla. I will never let City on the Edge of Battle Mechagodzilla City beat Legendary, though. That's just kind of, man. I don't miss that movie at all. I don't miss it, either of those three movies. But yeah, it could be Space Godzilla, could be an original kaiju. It could also be another King Ghidorah. It could just be another King Ghidorah. If there's kaiju breaking out all over the place, that's kind of a King Ghidorah thing. They never really, they only one hit the Earth probably, but there could always be another, and that's how we get Mecha King Ghidorah. Is power gapping for me. I got like 3 buffs, but that's the thing where this would be a different Ghidorah. They could just make it a even larger, even older Ghidorah, and that would be it with different issues. And even still, we've kind of been suggested that Godzilla probably won't be in his evolved state for this film. It'll be a non-permanent. In fact, it doesn't even sound like he'll be able to transform into it, which is a huge loss in my opinion. Godzilla should be able to do that, but so there's a very, very large Godzilla YouTuber that covers MonsterVerse, stated that there was something whispers, or maybe it was just like a bunch of fan speculation that got overblown a little bit. I didn't watch the full video, admittingly, so this is just speculation that a certain other form of Godzilla might be coming back in this film, which when I saw Supernova, that was actually my first thought, is that maybe we could see 2019 burning again. But to get that form, Mothra has to die, and if Mothra has to die in this film just for plot sake, I'm gonna be annoyed as all hell. So hopefully they don't do that. Yeah, it could be Grand King Ghidorah, or Galactic Tyrant Ghidorah. I don't know, however they want to do it. I want Space Godzilla, but hey, if my Grand King Ghidorah, yeah, it would be. They've got options. I mean, they could also be like, the anime might reveal that half the people on the planet, or some people, it's a scroll thing like Marvel, or like, there's aliens and they're gonna bring like a legitimate Mechagodzilla, more like the Showa one. They could do that too. I'm not against Mothra dying. I just want it to. I know, like, of course, everything is plot. Like, everything happens in the movie because of plot, but I don't want to feel like it's just, we have to kill Mothra so Godzilla can get this form. Hopefully, Mothra can die, and then it's something that happens a little later, or he reawakens it, or maybe he gets evolved back, or something like that, if he's not going to be in evolved form. Which, once again, there's plenty of suggestion out there from kind of the teams working on it, mostly Wingard, which I know he doesn't really get a say in this, suggesting that evolved will be going away. I think, I hate to say this, but I think marketing wise that makes sense, because it's easier just to put 2024 on everything. But I mean, it worked for New Empire, so I am at this point. I'm so tired of the Queen of Monsters being abused. Yeah, like, she didn't really do anything in New Empire either. She didn't die. That was basically her thing. She didn't die, and she helped out like 2 or 3 times. She got Godzilla and Kong to stop fighting with Deus Machina, child on my back, and that was about it. So I would like to see her. I don't want her to die. I would also like to see Shimo and Suko again. And that's all I'm going to say about that. I mean, that would be kind of cool. Show that Shimo's all good. Have this new kaiju killer. It would be kind of big. I want the writing and plot to honestly be good for this film. It should be pretty good. The director isn't someone who worked on. This is only like his second really large film. He worked, I think, I Am Mother, or it's just Mother on Netflix. It's a horror film. I haven't watched it yet. I've talked to quite a few people who've watched it, said that it was actually pretty good, for all it would have to be. So it could be like that. More serious, gritty, and dark. I would have said that if this was a solo film, but the fact that it's Godzilla and Kong makes me think it's still going to be pretty buddy cop feel, which at this point, admittingly as well, Alex, I'm kind of annoyed of. I was hoping this would just be a Godzilla or a Kong film and not both of them. But I feel like 2 films in a row, a lot of people kind of still had the same thing of being like, hey, there's not enough Godzilla. And there's a heavy focus on Kong, and Kong is fun, but like, people want more Godzilla. I feel like we're going to get that with this film. I feel like, not just because directors have been changed, but just like company agenda. Like, I feel like we've complained and bitched enough to where we should get more Godzilla, hopefully the fights actually feel like proper fights. Yeah, I hope the final film is not as up and down as New Empire. New Empire's final fight it's got some really, really, really good points, and then it's got some points, just some points. Not necessarily bad, but just like Please to have Godzilla be the focus and Kong on the backside. I don't think that's gonna happen. I think it is easier for them to advertise Kong overall. But we'll see. We'll see what they do. This is Godzilla's. Godzilla was the start of the franchise, so this MonsterVerse franchise, I should say. So we'll see, though. I'm not gonna hold out hope, but I'm also not gonna be negative. I'm fine with whatever they do. Obviously, we're gonna do speculation streams. We're gonna be keeping up to date with official information and non-spoiler, like verified leaks when they come out in. This film comes out at the beginning of 2027, so I saw some people saying that we should get like a teaser trailer or something by the end of this year or the start of next year, and it's like, that's not what happened with GVK, and it didn't happen with GXK either. GXK, we did kind of get a teaser 10 months before the movie released, but not 10 months after like the production announcement. So, but we'll see. I mean, they also did this for just production moving ahead, so which admittingly, like, they're going to be working on this for 2 whole years. I don't think this is going to get delayed. There was a rumor that this was going to get delayed, but the trailer, this teaser, has the same date as the non-delayed rumor date. So this is still 2027. So I think we're good. Hopefully we're good. Sharktopus, hopefully this film has stakes. Yes. The other New Empire started with stakes, and then the immediate second Kong loses in the Hollow Earth, all the stakes are basically kind of just meh. They don't really feel impactful. Even, I guess, the very last point, while there was a little bit of stress for me, at least, where I felt like stakes were kind of there, was the second that Scar, Shimo, and the apes break through the veil, and they start seeing the portals up to the overworld, and then after that all the stakes kind of drop off a little bit. It just doesn't seem as intense, but the realizing that they're in Rio and on the top world is pretty cool, though. So at least it was cool. But yeah, I want the stakes to be there. The only one who felt like a threat was Shimo. Yeah, and then even still, like, she doesn't really feel like a threat because she's just an innocent, being tortured and manipulating to doing bad, rather than being like Scar King, who is bad. So, but then even still, Scar King doesn't really feel too threatening after the Hollow Earth duel. So, in my opinion, at least in my opinion. So, still cool. Cool up until that point. And then he loses all his characters. So hopefully that doesn't happen with this. Whether it's a human character, whether it's a human villain, or not even a human, just a villain, humanoid, we'll say that, or like an alien, and then a kaiju as well. Hopefully they don't lose, any presence, any character. Not character, but yeah, any character, hopefully. And then the stakes are high. I do agree. Should have broke Godzilla's arm or some. Yeah, she definitely could have done a little bit more, but It is what it is. It doesn't help that her fight with Godzilla was really anticlimactic. This was more akin to a sumo match. Yeah, yeah, and like all the cool stuff that's supposed to be in that fight got cut, and is in the book where, all the toy companies are showing her standing up on her hind legs, and she doesn't really do that in the movie, but in the book she does that to intimidate Godzilla at the end of the fight, and actually does supposedly put him in a little bit of fear and a little bit of worry, and you don't see that in the movie. Or like the book talks about when Godzilla's tossed across Rio, that he actually gets knocked out for a few seconds and is like dazed and is like hurting, which once again the movie doesn't suggest. Um, so there's a lot of details taken out of the movie, which, to be fair, if the movie would have been delayed one more year, could maybe some of those issues been fixed? Probably, but yeah, they're enjoyable. I would say 21 is still the better of the two, but I mean, I've been watching New Empire a few times this year already, and I've actually enjoyed it a little bit more every time I've watched it. I'm not quite on the hater streak. I've kind of just been like, oh yeah, it's just a good film. It's good. It's not great. It's not terrible either. Could someone say it's bad? Probably. You could say it's good or it's bad, and I think it's not really wrong. I do think where there's hate for it, it's overhated, but I also think there's a little bit too much coping for the movie. I guess, I don't know. I don't think some of the people put it on a really big pedestal, and it's like, I don't know about that. But it's also everyone's opinions, and that's absolutely a-okay to have different opinions, because if we all agreed and we all loved these films the same, talking about the films wouldn't be fun. So really sucks that the film tend to have crap tone of stuff get cut. Yeah, but it is what it is. I think with how the fact that we are a little under 2 years away from this film releasing, and the chances of this getting moved around, very likely, because they will move this film either ahead or back if like a Marvel movie comes out around the same time, which I do believe Doomsday is supposed to come out at some point during 2027, Marvel Doomsday. So, and I can't remember the other film, or if there's even another film announced. So, we'll see. We're gonna see what happens with this. But if you guys want to call this number, this is a real number. I saw Kaiju Kim on Instagram. She called it, and it gives you a bunch of prompts. I couldn't finish the video, but I think I don't know, probably something cryptic. Super cool though. But yeah, so that's kind of what I have for Supernova and the teaser. Both are fun. I like it. Nothing's set in stone. Like, we don't fully know what's happening. We also don't know what's happening. And I think I'm okay with that, honestly. I'm okay. I'm okay with that. I'm enjoying the surplus of kaiju content, even though it was not supposed to be a kaiju content day. Today was supposed to be a Dragon Ball content day, because it is Goku Day today. Okay, and then tomorrow is, I believe it's Gohan Day, and then Goten Day, I believe, right after, or it might be Goten then Gohan. I can't remember. But today's Goku Day. So we did do a celebration. I did actually, coincidentally, post a additional bonus video, which I just titled like normal, but it isn't the same as regular videos. This is a little special. It's a one-shot video is what I called in my post. I called it a one-shot, where basically I didn't like where I normally make cuts and I make it super fancy, and I try to go in depth with the figure. I didn't really do that at all for this review. I showed off the faceplates, the hair, which is new for me. Talked about how different it kind of seemed from other releases. I didn't even compare it to other Gokus because I don't have another base Goku, and I'm not gonna, it's not necessary. I say it in the video. This figure, this mold is like 2 years old at this point. I'll show it here because I got it on the stage. This is 2 years old at this point, or 10 years old at this point. But this thing is like, I mean, look at that. Like, is it? You guys call it aura farming or whatever? Like, this is cool. This pose worth the $38.50. That is all I can say. This pose made it worth it. This one faceplate, this one hairpiece, it looks so damn good. It has no right to look that good, but it does look good. So I'm really pumped to have this in hand. I'm very thankful. Shout out to one of my local friends who also collects Dragon Ball and SH Figure Arts and Figmas. He went to the nearest Target. I kind of go to Walmart and check, and he goes to Target. He shops more at Target, and I shop more at Walmart, you know. Or at least I'm at Walmart more. And we've been checking for each other, and we finally got hit. We finally got hits. So, very pumped. Very, very pumped about this Goku. So, go check out that video after the live stream if you guys are interested in it. If not, that's A-okay. I know Dragon Ball is not everyone's shtick, which is fine. It's A-okay. But it's Goku Day, and Dragon Ball is one of my tied for 3 favorite animes. Tied for first favorite anime. And I'm gonna celebrate it. Plus, as I've said before a few times, SH Figure Arts Dragon Ball content is coming because I'm spending money on it for the channel, not just unboxings, for reviews. So, you know, probably sneak 1 or 2 in every now and then. So, I guess that's kind of it for this stream. I don't really have much more to talk about Goku Day, I guess. I mean, you know, happy birthday, Goku. I got this really cool Goku figure. Check out the video. That's kind of all I really wanted to say about it. I will probably do like a legitimate Dragon Ball stream one of these days, or just talk about Dragon Ball, but that will kind of be in the future. I did get an update. If you guys didn't see my post on the channel, just a second. Trying to get this all figured out. If you guys did not see this post, did I even put it here? Or where did I post it? Oh, here we go. I posted it here with one of my worst screenshots. Oh, I didn't. Okay, so maybe I said it earlier in the stream. So yeah, Amazon's MIA. Oh yeah, I did, because I was talking about the unboxings. So Gamera, once again, hopefully with no tariff shenanigans, should be here tomorrow. I'm actually going to try to go to bed early tonight so I can make sure that I'm up and awake. My USPS drivers, I have a few that do this route on different days. Kind of vary depending on who it is. I'm pretty sure who I know it is, and she's normally here pretty early, as long as it's not too busy. So, or if I have to go to the post office to pick it up, because supposedly if you have a tariff on a box, depending on your areas, of course, this happened to a friend of mine, so he was able to at least tell his experience that his post office, basically your tracking will let you know, or you'll get an email saying, hey, this is at the post office, this has a tariff, you have to come to the post office to pick it up and pay for the tariff. I kind of heard they might mail you something as well. It does sound like that boxes will not be delivered if your tariff is not paid, though. So no sneaking around, that is what I'm gonna say. But so as long as I don't have a crazy tariff, or any tariff, hopefully, on camera, we should be good. Oop, I had a weird, it said chat got disconnected. Hopefully everyone's doing good on chat. So, but yeah, so Gamera should be here tomorrow. Amazon box should be here tomorrow. So we'll have both sets of boxes. So Gamera and Amazon. So some Ultra the last SHF Ultraman stuff. So for a little while, hopefully, unless I get like I win the lottery or get a really good job, then I might pick up. But for right now, it is supposed to be my last box for a while until after G Fest. So I'm very excited to do that, and then the fact that both are on the same stream makes it easy. I can cut out the unboxing off of this title, and tomorrow, if you guys just want to see unboxings, you can just go check that out. Boom, bam, boom. Don't have to skip around or do anything weird. You guys can just watch it. Boom, be done. If you want to check out this video or this live stream, excuse me, you can. If not, boom, gone. Doesn't matter. Whatever y'all want. But that is basically it for me. So I will hopefully, barring no other issues of any sort, I should have at least one box to open tomorrow. We'll have some stuff tomorrow to unbox, and if Gamera does get here nice, safe, and sound tomorrow, as promised, Gamera's review will come out Sunday, maybe Monday. I'm kind of leaning towards Monday. I would like to not upload 3 times in a week, especially so close to each other, doing a Thursday, Friday, and a Sunday one. A little bad. Analytics will eat me alive a little bit with YouTube. Also, I don't want to overstress myself, so I do want to make sure that I spend some time with Gamera, because this is my first Gamera Monster Arts. It's a little bit different than the others. It's got some different things compared, it's got the belly that opens up. I'm sure I'm going to be mildly frustrated with it at times, so I kind of want to make sure that I do spend time with it, since that'll be more of a review view, where this Goku that came out today was more kind of like a first look, or kind of like a first impressions, and then like a recommendation, a quick just like, oop, here you go, boom, because it's kind of easy to say, recommend a Goku figure, an SH figure, it's Goku figure, because they're basically all the same thing. Barring different accessories. Where this Gamera is like, oh, this is the only Gamera 2 for Monster Arts that is currently retail available on the market. You can still get the old one pretty cheap, but this one has more stuff. So I want to take more time. I want to give you guys something obviously critical and opinionated, and hopefully special. A little moving closer into making it a little bit more me, but we will see how that works. This is going to be me, though. I'm going to sign out, everyone. Hopefully y'all had a fun stream. I had fun talking for a little bit over an hour. It's awesome. Bonnie Master, thanks for joining in. Sharktopus, thank you. Alex, of course, thank you for watching. I know we had at least one more in here. Where are Tenzin? Thank you for joining in. Thank y'all for hanging out today. And anyone else who decided to, or not decided, who took time out of their night to say hi, hang out for a little bit. Thank y'all for watching. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a good weekend, everyone. Take care. Enjoy the warm weather. I'll see you guys in the next one.